Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live session which is going to serve as your reasoning refresher, where we'll be covering the questions asked in the last week's All India mock exams. Let me tell you, we'll look at questions asked in the All India mock exam for SSC CGL Tier 1 and also the All India mock exam for SBI PO prelims. Alright, you must have already attended a couple of sessions on the other subjects on Monday and Tuesday, and today we will be taking care of both the reasoning parts, right? Reasoning ability from the SBI PO prelims mock exam and general intelligence and reasoning from the SSC CGL Tier 1 exam. I'm sure all of you know that the general intelligence and reasoning section of SSC CGL Tier 1 exam is a cakewalk, right? There's nothing complex about it. Standard question types which are asked. It's just that you have to identify the logic and answer the given question, right? Of course, when it comes to the bank exams like SBI PO prelims, the type of questions asked are a little different, and every question needs a proper solution. So what we'll do today is we'll start with the reasoning ability section, where we will solve questions that were asked in the last week's All India mock exam and on SBI PO prelims, right? So I am ready to get started. I can also see many of you have joined the chat, but before we start solving the questions, let me understand how did you perform in your SBI PO prelims exam, which started on the 1st of July. I'm sure many of you have already appeared in the exam. So how did you fare in the exam, and how did you find the paper to be? Yeah, quick. If you can give me some details about how your performance was, we can get started. Yeah, I see many of you have joined the live session already. Good to see you all. Dushyant says the PO exam was above moderate. Chinnu Varkis says it was moderate. Okay. Vidya Rajan also feels that it was moderate. So I hope, the general feedback is that the paper was not very difficult or very easy. It was of moderate difficulty level, and I just hope that you guys have done well in your exam, and I wish that those who are going to appear in this exam this weekend will also perform well. Now, keeping that in mind, let's get started. So we will start with the reasoning ability section, taking up questions from the SBI PO prelims All India mock exam that was conducted last week. So let's get started. I'll share the screen to you all. Present the first question, which is about 8 friends being arranged around a circular table, not necessarily in the same order. 4 of them are facing outside while 4 of them are facing inside the center. So this is a combination of people facing outwards as well as inwards. So I'll present the question, then we shall get started. But I see a point here that I failed to attend the exam on weekend, but I took the exam later. The paper was moderate. Oh, sorry. I think you guys are talking about the SBI PO prelims mock exam that we had conducted. I was referring to the real SBI PO exam, which started on 1st of July. Anyways, let's get started now and see how many of you are able to solve the question. So the first question from the session today is on your screens now. See what it says. 8 friends A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H are sitting around a circle, but not necessarily in the same order. 4 of them are facing outside and 4 of them are facing inside the center. And there are 5 points given to us, based on which you need to do the arrangement. And once you have done the arrangement, we can look at the questions asked. There are 4 questions here. I'm sure answering the questions is going to be really easy. All you have to do is do the arrangement as quickly as possible. So your clock starts now. You have about 3 to 4 minutes for this. Let's see how many of you get the right answer. Done? I think only Selin has confirmed that he has done it, and Pavani, Komradi and Vidya. So waiting for more responses to come in. In the meanwhile, Kranti says, I think weekly one mock is not enough for SBI mains. In mains calendar, there is only one mock per week. Well, Kranti, understand that the All India mock exam will be only one per week. But then there will be other mock tests which are available for you. General mock tests will be available. The All India mock exam can happen only on weekends, and that will be only one per week. Is it done? Alright, the time is up, so let's look at the solution now. Here we go. The question says, study the information given below and answer the given questions. 8 friends A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H are sitting around a circle but not necessarily in the same order. 4 of them are facing outside and 4 of them are facing inside the circle. So clearly this is a case where we have mixed directions, right? 4 of the 8 friends are facing the center while the other 4 are facing outwards. Now you know what's the significance of facing outside and facing center, right? When a person is facing outside, left should be taken anti-clockwise and right has to be taken clockwise. Whereas when the person faces center or faces inside, left is clockwise and right is anti-clockwise. And now there are 5 points given to us. E faces outside, both the immediate neighbors of E face the center, H sits second to the right of E, B sits third to the left of E and so on. Right? Then there is point number 2, 3, 4, 5. So based on these points here, which serves as clues, we have to do the arrangement of the 8 friends. So let's try it out. Yeah, I've got the same question here with some space for me to try out the arrangement here. Right? So let's take up a circle. 8 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Remember, not all of them are facing the center. So we cannot generalize that left is clockwise and right is anti-clockwise. Right? Depending on the person, depending on whether the person is facing center or outwards, we have to decide what is left and what is right. Now let's start with the first point. It says E faces outside, which is a very important clue in my view, right? E faces outside. Both the immediate neighbors of E face the center. E faces outside and both the immediate neighbors of E face the center. Now you know that the best part of the circular arrangement is you can start from wherever you want, right? In case of circular arrangement, you can start from wherever you want. I mean, the first position can be considered just a second, guys. Yeah, so like all of you know, the best part of a circular arrangement is, that the first position can be considered anywhere on the circle, and relatively we can mark the other positions. So let's assume that E seated here. E seated here. It says E faces outside. So direction is very important. E faces outside. Meaning for E, right is going to be clockwise and left is going to be anti-clockwise. Now look at the next point. Both the immediate neighbors of E face the center. Both the immediate neighbors of E should face the center. So who the neighbors are is not known to us, but both of them would face the center. H sits second to the right of E. H sits second to the right of E. Now that E's position is fixed and we also know the direction of E, we can fix the position of H. Right? H sits second to the right of E. What is right of E? Right of E is clockwise. Since E is facing outwards, right is clockwise. So try to take H second to the right of E, first and second. I think H should come here, right? Now whether H faces center or outwards is not known to us, but the position is fixed. Next point says B sits third to the left of E. What's going to be left of E? Left of E is anti-clockwise. Since E is facing outwards, left is anti-clockwise. So B sits third to the left of E. First, second, third. B comes here. Again, is B facing outwards or inwards is not known to us. All we know is B is third to the left of E. Now look at the second point. So the first point is done. Every clue given here has been used on the circular table. Look at the second point now. D faces the center. D faces the center. Now where exactly is D is not known to us. All we know is D faces the center and both the immediate neighbors of D face outside. So unless we know the position of D, we cannot do anything about point number 2 here, right? So we'll skip point number 2 for the moment and look at something else which can help us complete the arrangement. Look at the next point. G sits second to the left of A. Again, the challenge here is G sits second to the left of A. We have neither G nor A on the arrangement so far. We have only H, E and B. So this point also will not be very easy to implement immediately, right? Read the next part. B sits third to the right of H. B sits third to the right of H. Now this is interesting. B and H both are already marked on the table. But this time it says B sits third to the right of H. So this should probably help us get the direction of H. Right? How do we know that? See, B is third to the right of H. If I go anti-clockwise from H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, B becomes fifth in the anti-clockwise direction. If I go in the clockwise direction, first, second, third. Meaning, B will be third to the right of H only if we go in the clockwise direction from H. Meaning, right of H is clockwise. When can right of a person be clockwise? Only when the person is facing outwards. Are you able to follow? B sits third to the right of H. So, right of H, third to the right of H is coming out in the anti-clockwise direction, right? First, second, third. Sorry, in the clockwise direction. Right of H is in the clockwise direction here. First, second, third. When is the right in the clockwise direction? Only when the person is facing outwards. So we can now conclude that since right of H is in the clockwise direction, H is facing outwards. So H faces outwards. What is the direction of B? That is still unknown. We do not know the direction of B, but we now know the direction of H. The first part is still useless. G sits second to the left of A, cannot be used immediately, right? Next, F is an immediate neighbor of D. F is an immediate neighbor of D. C is an immediate neighbor of G. Now point number 4 is interesting. F is an immediate neighbor of D. C is an immediate neighbor of G. What do you understand from this? From point number 4, my understanding is that F and D have to be together. Wherever they are, F and D have to be together because they are immediate neighbors. Similarly, C is an immediate neighbor of G. C is an immediate neighbor of G. So C and G also have to be together. Yes or no? C is an immediate neighbor of G. So C and G will also be together. F and D are going to be together. C and G are also going to be together. Meaning there have to be consecutive positions available for FD and CG respectively. Now if you look at the arrangement that we have done so far, there are only 2 pairs of consecutive positions. 1, 2 here and 1, 2 here. This cannot be a position which can be occupied by F or D or C or G. You're getting it here. F, D, C, G cannot come. Because for F, the immediate neighbor is D, which is not possible. For C, the immediate neighbor is G, which also is not possible here. Right? And similarly for D and G also, it's not possible. You're getting it? FD should take 2 consecutive positions, which can either be these 2 or these 2. CG also have to take 2 consecutive positions, which be either these 2 or these 2. So clearly, the only person who can come here is A. You're able to follow. H, E and B are already marked on the table. FD is a pair. Pair meaning they will be together. Right? F and D are together. C and G are also together. Who's left out? A is left out. A has to come in that position. Now, move to the next point. Now, before we move to the next point, I think I can go to point number 3, which said G sits second to the left of A. G sits second to the left of A. Now that A is marked, I can take second to the left of A. See, A is facing center. When A is facing center, left of A will be clockwise. So G sits second to the left of A. First and second, G comes here. Yes or no? G sits second to the left of A. Left of A should be clockwise since A is facing center. So first and second, G comes here. The moment G comes there and I know that C and G have to be together, I can put C here. Yes or no? We know that C and G have to be together. So C has to come here in this position. Only then C and G are together. So this is done. And now it's very clear that F and D will take these 2 positions. F and D are going to take these 2 positions. But in which order, it's still unclear. Will it be FD or DF is not known to us. So maybe read the last point, 5th point. D is not an immediate neighbor of B. D is not an immediate neighbor of B. D is not an immediate neighbor of B, meaning what? D cannot come here. So D has to come here. And if D sits here, then F would be sitting here. So the arrangement is done. F, D are together, C, G are together, C and G are together, and all the other positions have been marked. So we have used point number 5, point number 4, and point number 3 and point number 1. Only point number 2 is left out. Now look at point number 2. D faces the center. D faces the center, yes. D is facing the center clearly. Both the immediate neighbors of D face outside. Both the immediate neighbors of D face outside. Meaning E faces outside and F also faces outside. Immediate neighbors of D have to face outside. So both E and F face outside. So if you see, we have got the arrangement done. The positions are E, A, H, G, C, B, F, D. However, what is still unclear is the directions. We know that 4 of them face outside and 4 of them face inside. On the arrangement so far, we have got E facing outside, H facing outside, and F facing outside. So 3 persons facing outside. Yes or no? Who are facing outside? We have got E, H, and F. Who are facing inside? Inside facing, we have got only 2 persons, A and D. There are 3 more persons left out. One of whom will be facing outside and the other 2 will be facing inside. Now, who are those 3 persons is still unclear. Like, of course, G, C, and B are the 3 persons. G, C, B. The directions of these 3 are not known to us. But how do we decide who faces center and who faces outwards among G, C, and B? So just see if you have missed out any point, any hidden clue given here. 4 of them are facing outside and 4 of them are facing inside the center. E faces outside. Both the immediate neighbors of E face the center. H sits second to the right of E. H sits second to the right of E. B sits third to the left of E. B sits third to the left of E. Yeah, that doesn't give us anything more than what we already have. D faces center. Yes. Both the immediate neighbors of D face outside. Yes. G sits second to the left of A. G sits second to the left of A. Yes. G second to the left of A. B sits third to the right of H. B sits third to the right of H. F is an immediate neighbor of D. Yes. C is an immediate neighbor of G. Yes. D is not an immediate neighbor of B. Yeah. So I think what remains unclear here is that the directions of G, C, and B are unknown to us. Yes or no? The directions of G, C, and B are unknown to us. And I think even after second reading, I don't get any clue here, any direct clue or indirect clue, which can give me the directions of G, C, B. I know among G, C, B, one will be facing outside. Right, one is going to be facing outside and the other 2 will be facing inside. Yes or no? One person faces outside, he'll be a part of the group of E, H, F, and the other 2 will be facing inside. Right, A, D, and the 2 other persons. But which are those 2 persons is not known to us. So what we'll do, there's nothing that can be done now. We'll just look at the questions and see if we can answer all the questions based on whatever we have got so far. Okay, so let's look at the questions. Look at the questions. First one. Who amongst the following sits on the immediate right of H? Immediate right of H. Immediate right of H. Find out immediate right of H. See, H is facing outwards. For a person who's facing outwards, right is clockwise. So immediate right of H is G. So for the first question, the answer is G. Who amongst the following sits second to the left of E? Second to the left of E. Second to the left of E. Now go back. E. E is facing outwards. When a person is facing outwards, left is clockwise. Yes or no? E is facing outwards. Sorry, when a person is facing outwards, left is anti-clockwise. I'm sorry. So who sits second to the left of E? E is facing outwards, left is anti-clockwise. So second to the left of E, first and second. Second to the left of E is F. Second to the left of E, F. Option 2 is the answer. Then who amongst the following sits third to the right of A? Who is third to the right of A? Third to the right of A. See, A is facing center. When a person is facing center, right is anti-clockwise. So third to the right of A. First, second, third. Third to the right of A is F again. Yes or no? A is facing center, right of A is anti-clockwise. First, second, third. Third to the right of A is F. Option 3. And the last one here, who amongst the following sits exactly between F and C and is also their neighbor? Who amongst the following sits exactly between F and C and is also their neighbor? See, for a person to be exactly between F and C and also be their neighbor, it has to be, immediately between F and C. You're getting it? So F, that person, and C will be 3 consecutive persons basically. So who is that person? Find out. Exactly between F and C. Well, exactly between F and C. We have F here and C here. Exactly between F and C, the person is B. So option 2 is the answer. So as you all can see, while we were unable to complete the full arrangement, as in we could do the arrangement, but the directions of 3 of the persons were not known. G, C, B. Their directions were not known to us. Even after that, we've been able to answer all the questions. So remember, there can be cases in the exam where you come across such questions. You're not able to do the complete arrangement. So don't panic. Just move to the questions and see how many of those questions are you able to answer based on this data. Okay, sometimes the questions will have options which says data is insufficient. And that can be marked as a correct answer. Like for example, if it says, what is the direction that C faces? We do not know what the direction C faces. So we can say insufficient data. Yeah, that can be the right answer. Anyway, so this is done. I hope all of you have got it now. Okay, I think there are 2 more questions. So let me present the other 2 questions also. I'm sorry. Let's look at the next 2 questions based on the same data. 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way based on the information given above and so form a group. Which is the one that does not belong to the group? Yeah, I think there are 2 more questions. Let's look at this. 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way and so form a group, which is the one that does not belong to the group. So I have to go back to the arrangement to figure out. Options are HAFH. FH. Okay. Then we have GCDA. GCDA. And AE. Well, I don't know what the logic is. I'll do one thing. I'll copy the arrangement there so that we can analyze it easily. I'm sure you don't have to do this in the exam, because in the exam you have the arrangement on a paper which you can refer to easily. Here I'll just copy. The order is what? A, H, G, C, B, F, D, E. Let me note on the directions also. Outwards, center, outwards. Did I copy it properly? Oh, sorry, I think I rotated the circle. It started from F. F is outwards, D is inwards. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me just copy the directions properly and then we'll look at the answers here. Yes or no? The directions of G, C, B are not known. F is outwards, D is inwards, E, A, and H are outwards, inwards, outwards respectively. Okay. So now try to answer the question. What does it say? HA are neighbors. One is outwards, the other is inwards. Okay. FH are not neighbors, but again one is outward, the other is inward. GC we do not know the directions. DA, D is inwards, A is also inwards. Okay. AE, A is inwards. Yeah, so I think if you see, HA have got opposite directions, FH has got opposite directions, AE also have got opposite directions. Yes or no? HA have got opposite directions, they are facing opposite directions. FH are also facing opposite directions. AE are facing opposite directions. D and A both are facing the same direction. And I have no clue about GC. Will GC be facing same direction or opposite direction? Is not known to us. Well, if let's assuming that the directions that they face is the metric to classify this group, then definitely G and C must be facing opposite directions. Only then HA, FH, GC and AE will become opposite, whereas DA will become same. Right? Oh, I'm sorry, FH is not opposite, FH is also same. Sorry, I think I missed this part. FH is also facing the same direction and not opposite direction. Yeah, FH is also facing the same direction. So what do you think is the way out. I don't think directions is going to help us. What else can be the classification? If it is not directions, then what is the classification? So two of the pairs are facing outwards. Two pairs are facing same direction. Two pairs are facing opposite directions. Yeah. Both F and H are facing same direction. So how do we classify? What do you think is the answer? Anyone? Insufficient data? Well, how do you classify? Has anybody got any other idea? I think one suggestion that many of you have is that since the directions of G and C are not known, maybe we can classify this and we can say the directions of all the other pairs are known to us. Well, yes, of course, opposite and same cannot be the criteria because there are two opposite and two same. It will not give us anything. Maybe we can say, yeah, directions in first, second, fourth and fifth pairs are known to us. The directions in third pair, GC is not known, and hence GC is the odd one. Any idea? Yeah, so I think going by what you guys say, I can say GC is the one. HA are neighbors, FH are not neighbors, GC are neighbors, DA are not neighbors, AE are neighbors. So even immediate neighbors classification will not help. So I think the only thing I can think of is, like you all suggested, GC is the odd one because the directions are not known to us, right? Directions are not known to us. Let's see. Move on to the next question now. If all the people are made to sit in alphabetical order in clockwise direction starting from A, the position of whom amongst the following remains the same? Now this is a standard question type, right? It says all the people are made to sit in alphabetical order starting from A in the clockwise direction. So start from A and make them sit in the clockwise direction. So A, then comes B, C, D, E, F, G and H. You're getting it? Starting from A, we make them sit in the clockwise direction in alphabetical order. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It says the position of whom amongst the following remains the same. Whose position remains the same? You can see F's position remains the same, right? The position of F remains the same. So answer to this question has to be option 2, F. All right. Yeah, so I think with this we are done with this first question on circular arrangement, a mixed one where we had 4 persons facing the center and the other 4 facing outwards. Should we move on to the next set? Shall I take up the next one? I hope all of you have followed this. Let's move to the next question. Yeah. All right. The next question again is a arrangement where we have 7 friends, of which 4 are boys and 3 are girls. Their names have been given and they teach different subjects, and each one has a liking for a different color. So based on this data, we got to answer some 3 questions. So here's the question on the screen for all of you. Try it out. Your time starts now. You have about 3 minutes to try this. Your clock starts now. All right, I can see some responses coming in here. Looks like some of you have done it and others are confused about the gender there. So if you have any confusion about the gender, don't worry, just move on and look at the questions. Maybe you will be able to answer all the questions asked, right? Let's try it out. Here's the question. See what it says. 7 friends, 4 boys and 3 girls named Kweshi, Pratush, Tulsi, Shravya, Usha, Ranjan and Vishwas are teaching different subjects among math, physics, biology, English, history, psychology and French, not necessarily in the same order. Each one of them has liking for a different color among pink, green, blue, red, yellow, white and orange. Again, not necessarily in the same order. So basically 8 names, 8 subjects and 8 colors. We have to do the mapping, right? Now look at this. It says Tulsi teaches biology and likes green color. Kweshi teaches history and he does not like yellow or orange. The one who likes red teaches physics and who teaches French likes blue, right? And the one who teaches French likes blue, right? The one who teaches English likes pink. Ranjan teaches maths and Vishwas teaches psychology. Usha does not like red. Maths teacher does not like yellow. No girls is teaching French. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's try the arrangement now. Basically an assignment problem, right? You have to assign the attributes to the given persons here. So let's look at it. So I think I'll list down the names of the persons first. Kweshi, Pratyush, Tulsi, Shravya, Usha, Ranjan and Vishwas. These are the 7 persons. On one side we'll note down the colors. On the other side we'll take the subjects. So what does it say? The first point. Tulsi teaches biology and likes green color. So Tulsi teaches biology and likes green color. Right? Next, Kweshi teaches history and he does not like yellow or orange. So Kweshi teaches history. He does not like yellow or orange. Yellow or orange cannot come for Kweshi. Right? He does not like yellow or orange. The one who likes red teaches physics. And whoever teaches French likes blue. You getting it? The one who likes red teaches physics and who teaches French likes blue. So remember, physics and red will go together. Physics and red will go together. Similarly, French and blue are going to go together. Now, where exactly we have no clue as of now, but these 2 points have to be validated. These 2 points have to be satisfied in the given question. Okay. Next, the one who teaches English likes pink. The one who teaches English likes pink. Again, make a note of it. English and pink will go together. These are all the combinations which have been given to us. So whoever teaches English likes pink. Ranjan teaches math. Ranjan teaches math. Ranjan teaches maths. And Vishwas teaches psychology. And Vishwas teaches psychology. Right? Or psychology. Usha does not like red. Usha does not like red. Red will not go for Usha. Math teacher does not like yellow. Math teacher does not like yellow. So you know that Ranjan teaches math. So Ranjan does not like yellow. No girl is teaching French. No girl is teaching French. So I think the gender is also going to play an important role here for us to decide who's teaching French. Right? Eventually it says no girl is teaching French. No girl is teaching French. So if you see so far we have like 7 persons. Only for one person, which is Tulsi, the subject and the color both are known to us. We know Kweshi teaches history, but colors are not unknown. It's just that it will not like yellow or orange. And then Ranjan teaches maths, Vishwas teaches psychology, and these are the 3 combinations given to us. Physics will go with red, French will go with blue, English will go with pink. So how do we go about it now? And also it's given that math teacher does not like yellow, which you have already noted, and Usha does not like red. Usha does not like red. No girl teaches French. See, there are 4 boys and 3 girls. Can you find out who are the 4 boys? Well, if you go strictly by the data given in the question, we know that Kweshi is a boy because the data says Kweshi teaches history and he does not like yellow. He does not like yellow. Kweshi teaches history and he does not like yellow. So Kweshi is a boy, right? Kweshi is a boy. Then the one who likes red teaches physics, and the one who likes French teaches French likes blue. The one who teaches English likes pink. Ranjan teaches maths, and Vishwas teaches psychology. Usha does not like red. Maths teacher does not like yellow. No girls. No girl is teaching French. So French is taught by a boy. French is taught by a boy. See, if I go by names, general understanding of names, right? We know that Queshi is male here. Queshi is male. I mean, again, there can be argument that Tulsi can be a name of a male and female, and similarly for other guys as well, Usha, Shravya, and others. But then the three girls are, in my view, Tulsi, Shravya, and Usha, right? Ranjan, Vishwas, Pratush. All the three sound like boys' names. Well, this is not really what we should do in the exam, but here there is no other clue given to us, right? There is no way out that we can find out whether a person is boy or girl otherwise. So going by the general understanding, I think we know that the only thing which is confirmed here is Queshi is a boy because the pronoun he has been used. For all others, there's no specification. So let's just go by that, right? Queshi is a boy, Pratush is a boy, right? Then Ranjan and Vishwas are boys. Ranjan and Vishwas are boys. So obviously Tulsi, Shravya and Usha are girls. Now how do you fix it? See, try and understand. This last clue is very, very important. It says no girls, it's teaching French. No girls is teaching French. We know that French and blue will go together. French and blue will go together. Now, try to fix this. French and blue has to go together. Can French, I mean, I'm starting from bottom, right? Let's go bottom up. So, can French be taught by Vishwas? No, because Vishwas teaches psychology. Can French be taught by Ranjan? No, Ranjan teaches math. Shravya and Usha are girls, so they will not teach French because no girls teach French. So French cannot come in these two places. This is already blocked by biology, and this is already blocked by history. So the only person who can teach French is Pratush, right? Because S and U are girls, and the other three boys have got their subjects. So I think we can fix French for Pratush. He teaches French, and of course he will like the color blue. So Pratush's part is done, right? This has already been used. Now try to use the other stuff. You look at this. We know that physics and red will go together. Physics and red will go together. Now where can physics come? Physics can either come for S or can come for U. But we know that U does not like red. You see, we have already noted this. U does not like red. So if U does not like red, U cannot take physics. S should be taking physics. So S will take physics. And if S takes physics, the color that S would take will be red. So this also is done. Finally, English and pink have to go together. Right? English and pink have to go together. So the only person who can take English now is U. Because only for you the subject is not decided. And you would be liking the pink color. So I think the pictorial representations that we had have been used. Right? And subjects are all fixed. History, French, biology, physics, English, maths, psychology. Colors are left out. If you look at the colors, focus on yellow. Yellow cannot come for Q. Yellow cannot come for R. So obviously V has to like yellow. And then orange cannot come for Q. So orange has to come for R. Right? Simple assignment based problem. Orange cannot come for Q. So orange has to come for R. Now there's only one color left out which has to go for Q. What are the colors, by the way? Pink is done. Green is done. Blue, red, yellow, orange are done. White. Q would like the white color. That's the final arrangement. Yes or no? So Q, P, T, S, U, R, V are the names of the persons. Their subjects are history, French, biology, physics, English, maths and psychology in that order. And their colors are white, blue, green, red, pink, orange, yellow in the same order. Let's look at the questions now. Which color is liked by Vishwas? Which color is liked by Vishwas? Vishwas likes yellow. Yellow. Who teaches English? Who teaches English? You teaches English. Usha, right? Usha teaches English. Usha teaches English. Who likes white? Who likes white? Q. Queshi likes white. Queshi likes white. I think we're done. So a very simple one. There were only 3 questions asked, and I think overall doing this assignment would not take more than 2 minutes in the exam, right? First fix whatever is directly given to you and then look at the other combinations given and try to adjust it in the given sequence of persons. So I think about 2 minutes to convert to 3 marks. Yeah. I'm sure there won't be any confusions here. So let me move on to the next one. What we shall take up now is a few questions from data sufficiency. Data sufficiency, is an important concept, right? A question type in bank exams. So let's solve some questions from data sufficiency. Sony says I skipped this in the exam. Why? This could have easily got you 4 marks. 3 marks, Sony. Skipping this one was not a good choice. I think you can convert this to 5 marks. Not 5 marks, 3 marks without any difficulty. Yeah, this was an easy one. Chalo, let's look at the questions from data sufficiency quickly. The first question is on your screens here. You know what needs to be done, right? There's a question statement with 3 data statements. You have to find out whether the data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question or not. I'll give you 1 minute for this. Your clock starts now. Got it? Okay, time is up. Here we go. Look at this. This question is from data sufficiency, where we have to find out which of the statements are sufficient to answer the given question, right? Look at the directions. Each of the questions below consists of a question and 3 statements numbered 1, 2 and 3 given below it. You have to decide whether the data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question. All we have to do is find out if the data provided is sufficient to answer the question or not. Now look at the question. What does friends represent in the code language? What does friends represent in the code language? So this is a popular question type from coding and decoding, which has been converted to the data sufficiency format, right? Now look at this. The 3-letter words here, right? PTI, DIT, NLI means we are friends. Then this means friends are good. So the first statement, look at the first statement. Is first statement enough to find out the answer? Only statement 1? You know the basic rules, right? First check the independent statements and then go for combinations. Now if you observe, the first statement has got 2 parts in it. And there are common words. Friends is a common word. Are is also a common word. So can you find out the code for friends from this? No. If you see, the common words are PTI and DIT. In the first statement, in the first 2 statements, we have that our friends is common in both the ones, and DIT and PTI is common. So what exactly is the code for friends cannot be identified. I can tell you what is the code for V. V will be equal to NLI. Similarly, good will be equal to CHI. But then, what is friends? Friends can either be PTI or DIT. Are we getting the exact answer? No, we are not getting the exact answer. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient. For a simple reason that there are 2 common words. If there are 2 common words, you will not be able to identify. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Look at statement 2 alone. Friends are necessity. Friends are life. Again the same problem. Friends is common. Are also is common. Now since there are 2 words which are common, this statement also will not be sufficient to answer the question. We cannot extract the code for friends. Right? We cannot extract the code for friends. So statement 2 alone also is not sufficient. The last statement. Here we have been given 4 words, right? FIT, PTI, DIT, FEE. all are good friends, and then friends are new type. The same problem again. In both the statements, we have got two common words, friends and are. So will you be able to identify the code for friends from this? No. It can be PTI or DIT. It can be PTI or DIT. So statement number 3 also is insufficient. So 1 alone cannot give the answer, 2 alone cannot give the answer, 3 alone also cannot give the answer. Now let us try and see if there is a combination that can give you the answer. The point is, you do any type of combination here, everywhere the challenge is same. Two words are common, are friends, friends are and friends, and are and friends. You're getting it? And because of this, you do any type of combination, you will always be left with the same confusion, that the code for friends can either be PTI or DIT, one of these two. Are you able to get the exact answer? No. You do any type of combination, you will never be able to get the answer for friends. You will never be able to get the code for friends. That is the reason the answer to this question should be even 1, 2 and 3 are not sufficient to answer the question. Even if you combine all the 3 statements together, you will not be able to answer the question, because friends is not a unique word in any combination of statements. It always comes along with are. And hence the confusion always remains that friends can be PTI or DIT. So option 5 is the answer. Let me also tell you that it will not take as much time in the exam. I am trying to explain to you, so it has taken so much of time. But your understanding should be friends is not common anywhere. I mean, friends is not unique across any combination of statements, right? It always comes along with are. So you will never be able to decide the answer to this question. Option 5. So all those who have marked option 5 are correct. Let me present the next question to you all. Here's the next one. Try this out. This time it says M, N, O, P, Q, R and S are studying in different classes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Each of them likes different color pens. Pink, yellow, green, black, blue, red and silver. But not necessarily in the same order. In which class does Q study and which color does he like? Now this is like a assignment problem which we have solved recently. Try it out. Quick. Done? Alright, time is up. I think most of you have got option 5 as the answer, which says 1, 2 and 3 even together are not sufficient. Let's quickly check it. So here's another question on data sufficiency. Look at what the question statement is. M, N, O, P, Q, R and S. So 7 persons are studying in different classes. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Each of them likes a different color pen among pink, yellow, green, black, blue, red and silver, but not necessarily the same order. So we have got 7 names here, 7 classes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 7 colors I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have to find out in which class does Q study and which color does he like. So we have to have the data for Q. In which class does Q study and which color does he like. Now you know that usually in such cases we have to have enough information to be able to do the complete assignment and then answer the question. So let's quickly look at the given statements and identify which statement or which combination of statements can give us the answer. First one, look at the first statement. R studies in class 4 and likes green pen. S likes silver pen and studies in class 2. M, who studies in class 7, does not like either pink or red. See, you understand that our focus is on person Q. The question here is about Q. Which class does he study and which color does he like? If I look at statement 1, there is no mention of Q. It only talks about R, S and M. And it also talks only about 3 persons. You're getting it? We have been given information only about 3 persons. About R's class and color, S's color and class, M's class and the color that he does not like. Out of 7 persons, suppose if the data for 6 persons is given, then something can be done. We can say that 7th person's data can be extracted. But that's also not going to happen here because data for only 3 persons is given. We know information related to R, information related to S and that related to M. So will statement 1 alone give us the answer? No. Statement 1 alone does not give us the answer. Suppose the question says in which class does R study and which color does he like? Then yes, statement 1 is enough because it clearly says R studies in 4th class and like green pen. But the question is about Q. So first statement alone is not sufficient. Second statement. O likes black pen, studies in class 5. Q does not study in class 3 and does not like red pen. Again the same problem. Here, while we have got some information about Q, but it's incomplete because it says Q does not study in class 3. Q does not study in class 3 means what? Q can study in any of the remaining classes. And moreover, there is no information about color. So second statement alone also will not give us the answer. And similarly, third statement alone also will not give the answer. It says P likes blue pen, studies in class 5. Q does not study in class 3. The same piece of information. Q does not study in class 3 and does not like red pen. So independently, each of the statements fail to give the answer. Right? All 1, 2 and 3 does not, independently 1, 2 and 3 fail to give the answer. Now we'll have to go for combinations. Are you able to follow? Now we have to combine and find out if the combination of statements can give the answer or not. How do we do that? So remember, different combinations are possible. You can combine 1 with 2, you can combine 2 with 3, you can combine 1 with 3. Even if the combination of two statements fail, then you have to go for the combination of all the 3 statements. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's go for combinations. I'll list down all the persons first. M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. Right? Look at statement 1. Statement 1 says R studies in class 4. R studies in class 4 and likes green color. S likes silver pen. S likes silver pen and studies in class 2. M, who studies in class 7. M, who studies in class 7. Does not like pink or red. M will not like pink or red. Which color does M like is not known to us, but M will not like pink or red. That is for sure. Okay. Then combine this with 2. O, who likes black pen. O likes black pen. Studies in class 5. Q does not study in class 3. Q does not study in class 3. And does not like red pen. And does not like red pen. Okay. So I think the combination of 1 and 2 is not giving us the answer, right? Even if you combine 2 and 3, you will not get the answer because 2 and 3 has got very limited information. O likes black pen, studies in class 5. And it says P, who likes blue pen, studies in class 5. Something is wrong here. So 2 and 3 cannot be combined. 2 and 3 cannot be combined. Yeah, I think 2 and 3 cannot be combined because 2 says O studies in class 5. 3 also says P studies in class 5. How can we have 2 persons studying in the same class? Yeah, so the combination of 2 and 3 does not make any sense at all. So 1 and 2 do not give us the answer. 2 and 3 makes no sense. 1 and 3, would you like to combine 1 with 3? Even if you combine 1 with 3, you will have the same set of information. It's just that instead of O black, we will know P blue. You're getting it? What will the combination of 1 and 3? P likes blue pen. Q does not study in class 3 and does not like red pen. And does not like red pen. Everything else is same. And yeah, you're able to follow. The only difference between statement 2 and statement 3 is that in statement 2 it says O is black and 5. In 3 it says P is blue and 5. So instead of O black 5, we should say P blue and 5. But are you able to get the data about Q here? No. So the combination of 1 and 3 also fails. And the combination of all 1, 2 and 3 also will not give you the answer, for a simple fact that O studies in class 5 it says, and P also studies in class 5. Will we get the answer even if you do that? See, even if you try to do that, you will not be able to get the answer. Let's combine all 3 and see what happens. If I now combine all the 3 statements, what happens? Assuming that 2 students study in the same class, O studies in class 5, P studies in class 5, O likes black color, P likes blue color. Now what happens? If you see, of the given colors, 4 have been already assigned. Black, blue, green, silver. Black, blue, green, silver are assigned. What is left out? Pink, yellow and red. I know that M does not like red, N does not like red. So obviously Q has to like red. So in terms of color, we know that Q likes red. But what is the class of Q? The class in which Q studies? That cannot be answered. Now I'm not worried about colors. See, my only requirement is in which class does Q study and which color does he like. While I'm able to figure out the color liked by Q, red, will you be able to figure out the class of Q? No. Because among the classes, 2, 4, 5 and 7 are allotted. 2, 4, 5 and 7 are allotted. Only 3, 6 and 8 are left out. We know that Q does not study in 3. So which means what? Q can either study in 6 or it can study in 8. Q can be 6 or 8. Are we getting the exact information? No. The question says in which class does Q study? Q will study either in 6th or in 8th. But do we know the exact answer? No. Which color does Q like? Yes, Q likes red answer. So we are able to partially answer the question. We are only getting the partial answer by combining all the 3 statements together. Hence, our answer will remain option 5. It says 1, 2 and 3 even together are not sufficient. All 1, 2 and 3 are anyway not sufficient. Only 1 and 2, only 3 and 1, only 2 and 3 also not sufficient. You're getting it? So even if we combine all the 3 statements there, we will not be able to figure out the class in which Q studies. Hence, option 5, 1, 2 and 3 even together are not sufficient. Did you all understand this? Can we move on to the next one? Yeah, I think one very interesting idea that Jay Murli has given, well, it's not new, but I failed to check it. Since the options have not talked about any of the individual statements, there is no point in checking individual statements, which is very true, right? I mean, if you just look at the options, options do not say only 1 is sufficient, or only 2 is sufficient, or only 3 is sufficient. So why do we even check the independent ones? I mean, that's a waste of time, right? We can directly start with combination. 1 with 2, 1 with 3, 2 with 3 and so on. Yeah. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is on your screens here. Try it. Got it? Chalo, let's take this up. See what it says. The next one from data sufficiency, where we have to find out which of these statements are sufficient to answer the given question. What is the question? There are 6 letters R, U, E, A, N and M. What is the word formed after performing the following operation using these 6 letters only? Again, if you see, there's no point in checking independent statements here because options may we only have combinations, right? Only 1 and 2, only 2 and 3, only 1 and 3, all 1, 2 and 3. Of course, fifth option is none of this. So maybe by using independent statements, statement 1 alone or statement 2 alone or statement 3 alone, we may get the answer. So let's try out each one of them independently and then we look at the combinations. So R is placed fourth to the right of M. So we have to form a 6-letter word using these letters R, U, E, A, N, M. It says R is placed fourth to the right of M. Fourth to the right of M. So according to statement 1, it is M, fourth to the right of M. 1, 2, 3, 4. R is placed fourth to the right of M. Can you tell me what is the word using statement 1 alone? No, not possible. Because there are infinite combinations here, right? I mean, not infinite, but many combinations possible. Second statement, E is not placed immediately after either N or M, and N is immediately after E. So from statement 2, the data that we have is E is not placed immediately after either N or M. So in the answer word, it cannot be NE. NE cannot be together, or ME cannot be together in this fashion. E cannot be immediately after N, or it cannot be immediately after M. Whereas N is immediately after A. N is immediately after A. So after A, it has to be N. This is correct. Now will this tell you the word? No. Even statement 2 alone is not sufficient. It only tells that E cannot come after N, E cannot come after M, but N will come after A. Look at statement 3. E is placed second to the right of U. E is placed second to the right of U. E is placed second to the right of U meaning what? U is here, E second to the right of U. First and second. E is placed second to the right of U and to the immediate right of R. E is placed second to the right of U and here refers to the first person, right? Always the first person or the first item. E is to the immediate right of R. E is on the immediate right of R. Meaning E is on the immediate right of R. So R is on the immediate left of E. So according to statement 3, U, R, and E are together. Right? According to statement 3, U, R, and E are together. But will that give you the word? No. We have to form a 6-letter word. Right? What is the word formed? By performing the following operations using these 6 letters only. So statement 1, 2 or 3 independently fail to give the answer. All we get from statement 1 is M dash 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 R is the sequence. Statement 2 says A and N have to be together in the sequence, and statement 3 says U, R, E have to be together in the sequence. Now it's possible to answer the question. Let's see if it is possible to answer the question by using any combination. Like for example, if you use let's say 1 and 2 together, will you get anything if you use 1 and 2 together? No. By combining 1 and 2, what do we get? By combining 1 and 2, the only information we have is M dash 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 R and AN. Now where will AN come? AN can come in these two positions or in these two positions. So it can be MAN dash R or M dash ANR. And again, where is the sixth position is not known to us. So 1 and 2 will not give the answer. See, don't do any guesswork. Understand? Do not try to do any guesswork. Like for example, some of you may be very good in vocabulary and you may have figured out the word by looking only 1 and 2. But figuring out is not what we are looking at. The data has to be sufficient enough for us to be sure that the correct word has been obtained. Alright. So only 1 and 2 does not give the answer. Try only 2 and 3. Only 2 and 3. What happens if you combine only 2 and 3? See, in 3 we know that U, R, E are together. In 2 we know that A and N are together. So there are two possible combinations. It can be U, R, E followed by A, N, or U, R, E preceded by A, N, or U, R, E dash A, N or A, N dash U, R, E. You're able to follow. So what are the possible words? Now the only letter left out is M, right? So even if I try to look at it, it can be M, U, R, E, A, N or A, N, U, R, E, M or U, R, E, M, A, N or A, N, M, U, R, E. We are getting 4 possible answers using 2 and 3 together. Is it giving us the answer? No. Only 2 and 3 also will not give us the answer. Try 1 and 3. Again, if you use 1 and 3 also, what happens? If you use 1 and 3 together, will you get the answer? Just check. In 1 we know it is M dash 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 R. In 3 we know it is U, R, E together. So if I combine 1 with 3, what happens? U, R, E comes like this. But then, what about A and N? It can be M. So there are 2 possible answers now. By combining 1 and 3, we are getting M dash dash U, R, E. Now in this dash dash, we can have A, N or N, A. Again, there are 2 possible answers. Are we able to figure out? Are we able to figure out what exactly is the word using 1 and 3? No. It can be MANURE or MNAURE. Now do not argue that MNAURE is not a meaningful word or it's not a correct word. You're getting it? Do not argue that manure is a correct word, but MNAURE is not a logical word or not a meaningful word. He's not talking about a meaningful word, right? He says what is a word formed after performing the following operations using this letters only. So even by combining 1 and 3, I am getting 2 possible answers. So 1 and 3 combination also is not sufficient. So the only thing left out is now maybe we have to try out all 1, 2 and 3 together. If I combine all 1, 2 and 3 together, then I'll definitely get the answer. 1, 2 and 3 together. Try. Are you definitely getting the answer? According to 1, it is M dash 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 R. According to 3, let me use 3 now. It says URE. So U, R and E. And according to 2, it is A followed by N. A followed by N. So the only word I get after combining 1, 2 and 3 all together is MANURE. MANURE. That's the only answer that we are getting by combining all 1, 2 and 3 together. And hence, I can say option 4 is the correct answer. Option 4, all 1, 2 and 3 will give us the required answer. Trust all of you have followed this. Option 4 is the correct answer. Right? If you're all clear, we can go for the next one. Jay Murli, I have made a statement. Remember, he is not asked to form a meaningful word. Whether it's a meaningful word or not, irrespective of that, you have to consider all the possibilities. So by combining 1 and 3, if you think you can figure out the word is manure, you are wrong, because the word can also be MNAURE. Clear? Chalo, let me take up the next one. Here's the next question. This is about blood relations. See if you're able to crack it. How is Rani related to Raju? How is Rani related to Raju? Got it? Quick. Alright, I can see from the chat that there's this confusion that you guys have about the gender of Rani. Basically the confusion that can we decide the gender based on the name? Well, if it is a blood relations question, then you have to be a little strict about deciding the name based on the gender, right? You can't just do that. Anyway, let's take it up. So here's the next question from data sufficiency. See what it says. How is Rani related to Raju? How is Rani related to Raju? So a question on blood relations. Statement 1. Aarti, the only daughter of Rani, has 2 brothers. Aarti is the only daughter of Rani and she has 2 brothers. So if you try to draw the family tree for statement 1, what happens? Rani is the parent. She has only one daughter, Aarti. And Aarti has 2 brothers. Brother 1, who's male of course, and brother 2. Yes sir, you're able to follow. Aarti is the only daughter of Rani. Yes sir, so Rani has got, let's say, 3 children. Aarti is the only daughter. And Aarti has 2 brothers. Aarti has 2 brothers, brother 1 and brother 2. Now obviously, since he's talked about Rani, how is Rani related to Raju? Raju has to be either brother 1 or brother 2. Irrespective of that, we can say that Raju is the son of Rani. Raju is the son of Rani. Yes or no? Raju will either be brother 1. Raju will either be brother 1 or it will be brother 2. Irrespective of which brother he is, he will be the son of Rani, right? Rani's daughter's brother. Rani's daughter's brother is Rani's son. However, the question says, how is Rani related to Raju? How is Rani related to Raju? Rani's gender is not known to us. All we can say is Rani is the parent of Raju. But is Rani the mother or father? Is unknown to us since the gender of Rani is not given. Hence, statement 1 alone is insufficient. Remember, like some of you may argue that in one of the earlier questions where we solved complex assignments, we have used names to identify the gender. I mean, we have gone by the names to identify the gender, but there is fine to some extent. Here, it's a question of blood relations and gender plays a key role when you are answering these questions on blood relations. So strictly speaking, statement 1 alone does not give us the answer because Rani's gender is not known to us. Next, statement 2. Rani's son is the brother of the only sister of Raju. Rani's son is the brother of the only sister of Raju. We will face a similar problem in statement number 2 as well. See, here he has given something about Raju, only sister of Raju and all that. But Rani's gender is still unknown to us. See, the gender of Rani is very important. Unless you know the gender of Rani, you cannot answer the question. The gender of Rani is not given in statement 2 as well. It says Rani's son is the brother of the only sister of Raju. So Rani has a son who is the brother of the only sister of Raju. But is Rani the parent, male parent or female parent? Unknown. So statement 2 also does not give us the answer. Statement 3, Raju and Aarti are children of Rani. Again, Raju and Aarti are children of Rani. Fine. Which means Rani is the parent of Raju and Aarti. But is Rani the male parent or female parent? Parent not known to us. So in each of the statements, the only problem we have is Rani's gender is unknown. And unless we know the gender of Rani, you cannot mark the answer to this question. The only conclusion we can derive from these statements is Rani is the parent of Raju. But is that the answer? No. Remember, in questions from blood relations, you cannot give generalized answers like parent. You have to be very specific. Is it father or mother? That's not known to us. Why is that not known to us? Because Rani's gender is not known to us. Hence, the statements here will not give us the answer. Even if you go for combination, the statements will not give us the answer. Because if gender is not available in independent statements, by combination, also we will not get the gender. So, answer should be option 5. Even 1, 2 and 3 are not sufficient to answer the question. Right? 1, 2 and 3 together are also not sufficient to answer the question. All we can conclude here is that Rani is the parent of Raju, but we cannot be specific about the gender of Rani. Please do not go by the name. Please do not go by the name and say that Rani is a female name and hence it has to be the mother of Raju. You cannot take it for granted when it comes to questions on blood relations. So option 5, even 1, 2 and 3 together are not sufficient to answer the question is the correct answer here. Let me present this last one from data sufficiency now. The 5th question. This time it's about 6 persons who are sitting around a circular table facing the center. What is the position of R with respect to P in the given information? Quick. Got it? Done? Chalo, let's quickly take this up. This is from data sufficiency again. It says 6 persons P, Q, R, S, T and U are sitting around a circular table facing the center. What is the position of R with respect to P in the given information? So we have to arrange 6 persons around a circular table, right, to be able to find out the position of R with respect to P. Actually, we need not arrange all the 6 persons for us to find out the position of R with respect to P, right? Sometimes if directly the positions of R and P are given to us, we can still know the answer, right? All of them are facing the center. Remember, all of them face the center, meaning left is clockwise and right is anti-clockwise. Statement number 1. Q sits second to the left of S. T and U are not immediate neighbors of S. Now, will this give us the answer to the question asked here? In the question, we are referring to R and P, and there is no mention of R and P in statement number 1, right? If I have to mark the 6 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it says Q sits second to the left of S. S is here. Let's say S is facing center, right? Q sits second to the left of S. First and second, Q comes here. T and U are not immediate neighbors of S. T and U are not immediate neighbors of S, which means T and U cannot occupy these 2 positions. So, of course, T and U will take either these 2 positions. I mean, they can swap their positions. It can be TU or UT. And it doesn't really matter because what we need here is the position of R with respect to P. So, it's very clear that R and P will be taking these 2 positions. If T and U have blocked those 2 seats, R and U will be taking these 2 positions. But in which sequence, it's not known. We can have R on the left side of S and P on the right side of S, or vice versa. And unless that is fixed, we will not be able to find the position of R with respect to P. R can be second to the left of P, or R can be second to the right of P, depending on what exactly their positions are. So statement number 1 alone does not give us the answer. So option 1, only 1 is ruled out. Now go for only 2. What happens if you use only 2? Right? Only 2 says Q sits second to the right of T. Now Q sits second to the right of T is a useless. I mean useless as in it will not help us with anything, because the real question is position of R with respect to P. The only data we have here is Q sits second to the right of T. Q sits second to the right of T. Will you be able to find out the position of R with respect to P based on this data? Impossible. So statement 2 alone does not help us. Rule it out straight away, right? Third statement, R is not an immediate neighbor of Q. R is not an immediate neighbor of Q. Now only look at third statement. It says R is not an immediate neighbor of Q. So what? Will you be able to tell the position of R with respect to P based on based on the statement number 3 here? No. You're getting it? The only data we have in statement number 3 here is that R is not a neighbor of Q. If R is not a neighbor of Q, how can you find out the position of R with respect to P? No relationship at all, right? So 3 alone is also insufficient. Now you have to go for combinations. See, for us to find out the answer, this data is based on statement number 1, right? Whatever we have drawn here is based on statement number 1. For us to find out the exact position of R with respect to P, all we need to know is R between Q and S or is P between Q and S? They will definitely be taking these 2 positions, but in which sequence was the confusion. Now, if I use the data of statement number 1 along with statement number 3, see what statement number 3 says. It says R is not an immediate neighbor of Q. R is not a neighbor of Q. R cannot come in this position, which means it has to be P here, and hence it has to be R in this position. And now the confusion is cleared. Now we don't have to worry about what exactly are the positions. It's clearly that P comes here between Q and S, and R comes in this position. Why are we saying so? Because statement 3 says R is not an immediate neighbor of Q. See, do not worry about the positions of P and U. I know the positions of T and U are still not fixed, but it doesn't matter. All I want to know is position of R with respect to P. And now it's very clear. P is between Q and S and R comes here. Once the positions of R and P are fixed, can you not answer this question? Yes, we can answer the question. How are we able to fix the position of R and P? Using the data given in statement number 1 and statement number 3. So the combination 1 and 3. The combination of 1 and 3 will give you the answer. And hence, option 5, none of this is correct. By using statement number 2, what will you get? By using statement number 2, you will only be able to fix the positions of T and U as well. But is that really necessary? No. For me to answer the given question, remember the given question is position of R with respect to P. For me to be able to answer this question, I just need to combine 1 with 3. The combination of 1 and 3 is enough. 2 is not required at all. That's the reason option 5, none of this is correct. Now some of you may say that all 1, 2 and 3 also give us the answer. Yes, all 1, 2 and 3 also give us the answer. But is 2 really required? No. Is 2 really required? No. You have to decide whether the data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question. I only have to check for sufficiency. The data in 1 and 3 is sufficient enough. I don't have to use the data in statement number 2. Only 1 and 3 together is sufficient for us to answer the question. So don't mark option 4 as an answer. Option 4, which says all 1, 2 and 3 are required, only means that you're trying to do extra drama here, which is not even relevant to the question. Okay, option 5, none of this is the correct answer. Option 5, none of this is the correct answer, which means only 1 and 3 together are sufficient. That's the exact answer. Only 1 and 3 together are sufficient. I hope all of you have followed this. Remember guys, I think this is very basic that when you answer questions, I'm reading the comments and making this statement here. When you are solving questions on data sufficiency, right, you look for the combination of minimum number of statements. You're able to follow. That way, I can add one more statement. Statement number 4, which says that, Q is opposite to R. You can use that also. Q is opposite to R, you can fix, yes, Q is opposite to R. But is that really required? No. Q and R are no way going to help us, right? Or for that matter, it can say that, S is not a neighbor of T. Okay, S is not a neighbor of T, but does that really help me? No. For me to answer the question, which is about R and P, I should be able to fix the position of R and P. That I am able to do using 1 and 3 alone. So why should I combine, or why should I put extra information from statement number 2 there? Okay. Minimum number of statements have to be used for you to be able to arrive at the answer. That's the reason I say, remember, if you have gone through the video, basics of data interpretation and data sufficiency video, right, I had told you that combination should be done if and only if the independent statements fail to give the answer. If statement 1 and statement 2 both independently fail to give the answer, then only you have to go for combination. Sometimes what happens, statement 1 gives you the answer, statement 2 does not give you the answer, but combination of 1 and 2 again gives you the answer. 1 alone gives you the answer, 2 does not give you the answer, but combination of 1 and 2 also gives you the answer. So what will you mark? Will you mark the answer as only 1 is sufficient or both 1 and 2 are required? We'll say only 1 is sufficient, only 1 alone is sufficient, 2 alone is not sufficient. Combination is also giving me the answer is a different story. But why do you want to go for combination when 1 alone can give you the answer? Right? So get it right, you have to combine all the 3 statements only if it is really required. Okay? So let's quickly move on to the next set of questions. which are on syllogisms. I think there were 3 questions asked in the last SBI PO prelims exam on syllogisms. Let's quickly take those up and then we'll move on to the SSC paper discussion. So here's the question. The first one from syllogisms. Started here. In each question below are 3 statements followed by 2 conclusions numbered 1 and 2. You have to take the 3 given statements to be true even if they seem to be at variance from commonly known facts, and then decide which of the given conclusions logically follows from the 3 statements disregarding commonly known facts. Syllogisms asked in last all-day mock exam are very easy is what somebody says here. So I think we can skip this then. If all of you feel the syllogism is very easy, let's skip it and move to the discussion on SSC. Yeah, I have seen some comments here that certain answers in the key are wrong. I sincerely apologize for that. I would request the content team to take care of it. So if all of you have found the questions on Silogs to be easy, we can move on to the discussion on SSC. Right? Again, SSC General Intelligence and Reasoning section is a sitter. There is nothing complex in that paper. However, certain questions can be taken up here. Yeah. Should we move on to SSC directly? These are all simple syllogisms actually, right? 3 statements and 2. Nothing complex about it. Sorry, just give me a second. Yeah. So should we move on to SSC paper? Yeah, I think let's move on to SSC since most of you have found the questions to be simple here in Silogs. Alright, so I think my understanding is that the reasoning section of the all-India mock exam on SBI PO prelims last weekend was fairly simple, and I think the cutoff scores must have been high given the type of questions asked here. Okay, and when it comes to general intelligence and reasoning from the SSC paper, it's always the easiest section. There are 25 questions asked. Each question carries 1 mark, right, when it is tier 1 examination, and 1 mark or 2 marks, right? Whatever it is. But then questions are very, very simple. At the same time, you will have questions on coding and decoding, letter series, number series, analogy, classification, where you need to know the logic behind the question to be able to classify or to be able to find out the missing number or to be able to find out the next letter in the sequence and so on. So questions are usually easy to solve, but sometimes if you're unable to decipher the logic, you may need a lot of time. So the best strategy to be followed when it comes to general intelligence and reasoning section of the SSC Tier 1 exam is to quickly run through all the 25 questions, answer all those you can, all those questions which you can in the 30 seconds, and skip the difficult ones. And then come back after you have done the first round of 25 questions. Okay? And I'm sure out of these 25 questions, at least 22 to 23 questions will be fairly easy to be able to mark in the first attempt. Only 1 or 2 questions can get tricky, and you may have to spend a little more than 35 seconds or 40 seconds to get the answer to those questions. Right? So don't waste your time and get stuck there. Skip it for that moment, solve all the remaining ones, and then jump back if time really allows you. Okay? So let's move on now. Move on to the questions on SSC. Again, I think there's not much to be discussed. All are fairly simple questions if you ask me. There are only 4 or 5 questions that I would like to take up. Right? So let's start with this one. I think we'll be done in the next 10 or 15 minutes, guys. Let's just pick up some typical questions from the last week's SSC CGL All India mock exam. Here we go. Find out the number of triangles in this figure. You know, these questions are usually tricky. I mean, you have to count the number of triangles. Let's see how many of you get the right answer, right? Find out the number of triangles in the given figure. Remember, the best way to answer these questions would be to do numbering so that you don't get confused if you have really counted a particular triangle or not. And elimination is the best technique. So find out. Quick. I think all of you got the answer 18. In fact, I think before we move on, right, I would like to know how many marks did you score in SSC CGL reasoning section. All of you must have taken the SSC CGL All India mock exam. Can you tell me how many marks did you score? Out of 25, what was your score in reasoning? It should be at least 22 to 23 in my view. Let's hear it out. Got it? Hello? Yeah, I have some scores here. I think Praveen has got 39.5, Kshitiz has got 30, Sony has got 31, Vidya has got 39, which seems to be the highest here, and Shubham has got 36.5. Well, guys, I'm really sorry about these incorrect answers. I think somebody is pointing out that even in SSC CGL mock, some of the answers are wrong. We would ensure that these papers are properly ratified. Sincere apologies for the inconvenience caused. Please be assured that this will be taken up very seriously going forward, right? So I think the highest that I see here is 39, which Vidya has scored, 39 on 50. Yeah. I think you should aim for high, and others who have scored like less than 39, right? What are you guys doing? I mean, general intelligence and reasoning is the easiest section when it comes to SSC CGL exam. And you should maximize your score here. So, pump up your preparation and boost your score. Let me get back to the question now. So, here's the question. It says, find out the number of triangles in this figure. So, the figure where we have to find out the number of triangles. See, look at each of the, let me look at this piece here, right? If you see, in that segment, we have how many triangles? 3 triangles. If you number it as 1 and 2, number 1 is a triangle, number 2 is also a triangle, and the combination of 1, 2 is also a triangle. You're able to follow. So there are total 3 triangles in each leg there. We have chosen only one of the legs, right? We choose only one of the legs. How many triangles did we find? 1, 2 and 1, 2. 3 triangles. And 3 triangles in each of these 4 legs. So that makes it 12 triangles straight. 3 into 4, 12 triangles. 12 triangles are available there itself. Then we have this segment in between, right? Let's name it A, B, C, D. Now how many of these triangles are there? A is a triangle, B is a triangle, C is a triangle, D is a triangle, AB is a triangle, and CD is also a triangle. So how many are these now? 6 more triangles. Simple. 12 here and 6 here. 12 plus 6, 18. And once you've got 18 as the answer, you don't have to worry about more triangles being there or not, because answer definitely cannot be option 1, 2 or 3, right? 12, 14 and 16 are definitely the wrong answers. Answer has to be 18, option 4. Okay. So that's a sitter. Let me move on to the next question. I'm sure all of you got it right. 18 is the correct answer. Look at this one now. A question on paper folding and paper cutting. It says a piece of paper is folded and cut as shown below in the question figures. From the given answer figures, indicate how it will appear when opened. So you know the process, right? We have videos on paper folding and paper cutting. You can just follow that. So there is a piece of paper, a circular piece of paper, which is folded into a semicircle. Then it's folded into a quarter circle. And then these cuts are made. These black things you see, right? These are the cuts. Now for you to answer such questions, the easiest thing to do is, see, I'm looking at the last piece here, this piece here, A, B, C, right? This section. What happened? You have a cut here, right? Then you have a cut here. I'm sorry. There's a cut. There's this cut, then there's this cut here. Right? There is one cut here, there's one cut here, and there's one cut here. If you observe properly, let me give you an idea, right? If you observe properly, look at this. This center of the quarter, right? This is a quarter circle. Here is a semicircle, here is a full circle. The center has got no cut. The center portion has got no cut, right? On the left hand side of the center there is a cut here. Below the center there is a cut here. And on the arc, there are 3 cuts. There are 3 cuts. Which means when you unfold this, right? When you fully unfold this, the center region has to be intact. You cannot have anything in the center region. Are you able to follow? So I think that's a technique. So if you go by that, here if you see in option number 2 and option number 3, we have something coming up in the center. How can it come up in the center? How can anything come up in the center when here no marking was made, no cut was made? So 2 and 3 are eliminated straight. 1 and 4 are possible, because in 1 and 4 the centers are open. However, if you see in 1 we have only 4 dots. It's not possible, because on this arc itself we've got 3. On the full circle we'll have more than 3. I mean, of course, what happens is when you unfold, this will be combined together on the semicircle there. You understand? On the four corners of the circle, these dots would be there. In addition to this, there will be dots here as well, right? I mean, there will be cuts here as well. So number 1 looks incomplete. So 1 also is wrong. Hence option 4 is the answer. I mean, I'm sure explanation is not required for such questions. It's all observation, right? You have to observe the question properly and mark the answer. So how quickly do you do this is the question here, right? It's fairly easy. You just have to quickly work out and identify the correct answer. And elimination is the technique which works in most of the questions from general intelligence and reasoning. Yeah. Look at this one now. In a certain code language, SUERENIK means she's brave. PISORRENIK means she's always smiling, and SORREZERK ZHI means is always cheerful. What is the code used for the word smiling? You have to find out the code for smiling. See, if you look at the common words here, smiling has been used only in statement number 2. There are 3 statements here, right? Statement 1 is she is brave. Statement 2 is she is always smiling. Statement 3 is always cheerful. So smiling has been used only in statement number 2. Which means the code for smiling should either be PI or SOR or RE or NIK. All of these have been given the options, right? PI, SOR, RE, NIK. Now, how do you find out the answer? How do you find out the answer? See, look at it. If you look at statement 1 and statement 2, the words she and the words E are common. The words she and the words E are common. So, what are the common codes? In 1 and 2, what are the common words? She and E's are common. In terms of codes, what is common? I think RE is common. You see, RE is available in both. And I think NIK is also available in both. So very clearly, she and E's will take up the codes of RE and NIK. Which means smiling cannot be RE or NIK. You're able to follow. Elimination again. We know that she and E's will be taking up codes of RE and NIK in some order. So the code for brave is SUE. Here, the code for always and smiling will be among PI and SOR. PI and SOR. But then again, if you see, always is common between statement 2 and statement 3. And the common code between 2 and 3 is SOR, SOR and SOR. So I can clearly designate always as SOR. The code for always is SOR. So SOR is also eliminated. What is left out? PI. So we can say the code for smiling is PI. Again, a very simple question from this topic of coding and decoding. We have discussed enough of such question types in the past. Yeah. So again, repeatedly, the point that I would make here is it's a very, very easy section. You should make sure that you optimize your score in general intelligence and reasoning and try to score near 50. Let me tell you, it's not difficult. Scoring 50 in general intelligence and reasoning is not a big deal. It's just that you have to be really quick and don't commit silly mistakes. That's about it. What else? I think there's this question on, again, explanation here doesn't really, explanation is not really required, because for such questions, when you see the solution, written solution, you would know what the logic is. It's all about logic, right? So logic need not be explained. If it is written there, you would know. So I'm sure when I'm discussing such questions on general intelligence and reasoning, most of you may feel that, these are all very easy ones. But that's how the paper is. That's how the paper always is when it comes to SSC. Anyway, let's look at this question now. Find the hidden meaningful word from the coded alphabets if the alphabets are in reverse order. So that's an interesting one. Let's see how many of you have got the answer here, or how many of you get the answer here. Find the hidden meaningful word from the coded alphabets if the alphabets are in reverse order. Now this requires some knowledge about ranking and ordering, where we have discussed how to find out the position of a person from other end. It's a little bit of clerical work, but I'm sure you can answer this question. Jay Murli says, I skipped this because it would consume some time, but Jay Murli, let me tell you, this is not time consuming if you know how to quickly find out the, reverse positions of the English alphabet. Alright, here we go. Look at this. Find the hidden meaningful word from the coded alphabets if the alphabets are in reverse order. So basically alphabets are in reverse order. Like if you write A, B, C, D, E, F and so on up to X, Y, Z, the positions in the alphabetical order are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on up to 24, 25, 26. But what will be the positions in the reverse order? This will be 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21 and so on. Up to this will be 3, 2 and 1. Okay? The simple logic here is, if you want to find out the position in the reverse order, the one simple technique that can be used is, if you observe, the sum of actual position and the position in reverse is always 27. See, 1 plus 26 is 27. 2 plus 25 is 27. 3 plus 24 is 27. 4 plus 23 is 27. 5 plus 22 is 27. 6 and 21 is 27. 24 and 23 is 27. This again is 27. Here again it's 27. So the simple thing that you have to keep in mind is the sum of the current position, the sum of the actual position plus reverse position is equal to 27. Actual position plus reverse position is equal to 27. Just remember this and it becomes really very easy for you to find out the answers to such questions then. Now what does it say? Find the hidden meaningful word from the coded alphabets. So basically it says this is the 11th letter in the reverse order. Now 11th in the reverse order meaning what will be in the forward order? 27 minus 11. Say 27 minus reverse position. So for me to find out the actual position, what should I do? Actual position will be equal to 27 minus reverse. Just remember this. 27 minus reverse. Yes or no? Just remember that it's going to be 27 minus reverse. This is not a new technique again. I mean, you should know that position from front end plus position from back end will be equal to total number of persons plus 1. Total number of letters plus 1. 26 plus 1, 27. That's how we have got it. So 27 minus reverse. So 11 will be what? 27 minus 11, 16. This is 27 minus 15, 12. This is 27 minus 26, 1. This is 27 minus 13, 14. This 27 minus 22 is 5. So the letters are 16, 12, 1, 14, 5. Now what is the 16th letter? P. What is the 12th letter? L. What is the first letter? A. What is the 14th letter? N. What is the 5th letter? E. Here itself I am getting a meaningful word. P, L, A, N, E, plain. So I think option 1 itself is the answer. I don't have to worry about 2, 3, 4. I don't have to worry about 2, 3 and 4 here because in first option itself I have got a meaningful word. If you want, you can try out one or two other options. Like if you see 15, 11, 22, 26, 13. 15 will be what? L, right? I mean, we've already found this, so don't waste your time. 15 is 12, so 12 is L. 11 is 16th, so P. 22 is 5, so E. Here itself, L, P, E is not a meaningful, right? I mean, a word starting with L followed by P, E is not meaningful. Similarly, 3 and 4 also will get eliminated. So I think the most important takeaway from this question should be to find out the actual position of an English alphabet. When the reverse position is given, all you have to do is 27 minus the reverse position. 27 minus the reverse position, right? Sum of the forward position plus reverse position is always 27. Yes or no? So here he says it is the 11th letter in the reverse order. 11th letter in the reverse order is 16th letter in the forward order. 27 minus 11. Are you able to follow? 27 minus 11 is equal to 16. 27 minus 15 is equal to 12. 27 minus 26 is equal to 1. 27 minus 13 is equal to 14. And 27 minus 22 equals to 5. That's it. So 16, 12, 1, 14, 5 is are the letters, which is P, L, A, N, E. So there itself we have a meaningful word. Yeah. Option 1 is the answer. Try this one now, quickly. If the difference between the number of dots on the opposite faces is 3, then find out the figure which is correct. He says the difference between the number of dots on the opposite faces is 3. So find out the figure which is correct. Find out the figure which is correct. Nami says, can we use t minus p plus 1? Yes, that's what I'm doing, Nami. I mean, t minus p plus 1. See, t plus 1 is equal to what? 26 plus 1, 27. Are you getting the logic? What is t? T is 26, total number of letters. 26 plus 1 is 27. 27 minus p. That's what I have done, which looks like a shortcut and people get impressed, right? It's not a shortcut. I mean, we've discussed that. The basic concept behind that is that same, t minus p plus 1. Try this out now. Difference between the number of dots on the opposite face is 3. Then find out the figure which is correct. Why is that you guys are not getting the answer to this question? This is a simple one, right? Very straight. Alright, here we go. Look at this question. If the difference between the number of dots on the opposite faces is 3, find out the figure which is correct. So what's the logic here? It says the difference between number of dots on opposite faces should be equal to 3. The difference between the number of dots on opposite faces should be equal to 3. Find out the figure which is correct. Yeah? Now look at this. I mean, if you look at the first die, how many dots do we have on the faces shown here? This is 2 plus 4, 6 plus 3, 9. So this is like 9. This is 5, 3 plus 2, 5, and this is what? 5 plus 2, 7, 9, 5, 7. This is 6 plus 3, 9. This is 3, and here we've got 4 and 3, 7. Oh, sorry, this is 8. Sorry, let me just clear it out. Three plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9 here. This is 3. This is 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. Here, what do we have here? 3 plus 3, 6 plus 2, 8. This is 5. And here we've got 6 plus 2, 8 again. Look at the last one. 3 plus 3, 6. This is 4. And this is 5. Now you see, if you talk about a die, you know that the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right? He says the difference between the number of dots on opposite faces have to be 3. So what should be the opposite faces? 2 should be opposite to 5. 3 should be opposite to 6. 1 should be opposite to 4. In all the 3 cases, the difference will be equal to 3. Yes or no? Which means, now you know the funda, right? In a die, when you are shown this kind of a figure, one of the angular views, opposite faces will never come together, right? Opposite faces will never come together. So if 5 is available, 2 should not be available, because 2 should be opposite to 5. So 2 is behind that. Yes, 2 is not available here. Yeah. If 6 is available, then 3 should not be available, because opposite of 6 should be 3. So if 6 is here, opposite of 6 should be 3, and 3 should not be available in this figure. Because if 3 is available, then 6 and 3 will become adjacent faces. Yes or no? 3 should be below the under face of this die. Similarly, if 4 is visible, 1 should not be visible and 1 is not visible. So this looks like the proper dies which will satisfy this condition, right? The difference between the number of dots on the opposite faces is, where is that? Sorry. The difference between the number of dots on the opposite faces is 3. So 6, 4, 5, all 3 are shown, meaning the opposite faces. Say 6, 4, 5 are shown, opposite faces 3, 1, 2 are not shown, right? So option 4 looks like the correct one, right? I mean, these are not standard dies, first of all. Option 1, 2 and 3, they've got, these are not standard dies, yeah? Here we have 9, 5, 7, here we have 9, 7, 3. This is 8, 5, 8. So option 4 has to be an answer. I mean, a setter there. 5 is opposite to 3, 5 should be opposite to 3, 4 should be opposite to 1, 6 should be opposite to, 5 should be opposite to 2, 4 should be opposite to 1, 6 should be opposite to 3. Let's take up the next one very quickly. I think this probably will be the last one. This is a question on assertion and reasoning, right? Assertion and reason. Try this. He says there are two statements labeled A and R. A is the assertion and R is the reason. What is A? Autism is a developmental disability. Now you know that autism is a disability, right? The assertion is that it is a developmental disability. It's a developmental disability. And why are they asserting this? The reason given is heredity and lower development of brain are the causes of autism. Right? The lower development of brain. It can be heredity. It means it comes from the kind of parents and grandparents and all, right? And lower development of brain. So when the brain does not develop fully, it can cause autism. And because of this reason, they make a statement that autism is a development disability. Yes, if this is the reason, then we can assert that autism is a development disability. So both A and R are true, right? The assertion is true. The reason for that is also true. The assertion and the reason both are true. I mean, consider again, not very complex. And again, in general intelligence and reasoning, you don't get very complex critical reasoning questions like what we get in bank exams, right? Like statements and arguments, statements and assumptions, and what, strong and weak statements, all those kind of strong and weak arguments, all those type of questions are not asked here. It's a very simple one. Assertion and reason. You have to see if it is really, true or not true, right? I mean, both are connecting with each other or not. Yeah. So I think that's about it. All others were all simple questions. And the most interesting part is in general intelligence and reasoning, when solutions are given, which are available after you finish your all-India mock exam, you know that from Monday 11 o'clock onwards, you can see the solutions. You can just refer to the solutions to know what the answers are and what's the logic behind the question there. So there is no explanation required as such. Right? However, we'll continue doing one session on general intelligence and reasoning every week and try and discuss more and more interesting ones, more and more typical type of questions, so that you are in touch with your concepts and you can answer your questions very quickly in the exam. Alright? And yeah, I think with this we come to the end of this session, which was for both reasoning ability from your SBI Pure Prelims mock exam and general intelligence and reasoning from your SSC CGL Tier 1 mock exam. Sony says, please, one question. Which one question? Which one question, Sony? Oh, Shiti says, solve questions from syllogism. Syllogism, Shiti, all your friends have said that syllogism is easy, and I think it's actually easy. So why didn't you try it yourself? Let me take one. I mean, now that you've mentioned, let me just take at least one of these questions. Look at this. So regular syllogism type, he says, find out which of these conclusions logically follow, right? So look at the statement, some towns are village. Some towns are village. Some villages are mangoes. Some villages are mangoes. No mango is guava. No mango is guava. Some towns are villages. Some villages are mangoes. No mango is a guava. Now, conclusion number 1. Some villages being guava is a possibility. Yes, some villages being guava is a possibility. See, guava should not touch mangoes, but guava can touch villages, right? Goa should not touch mangoes, but Goa can touch villages. So some villages being Goa is a possibility. So first one is true. All villages being Goa is a possibility? No. All villages being Goa is not possible, because if all the villages go inside Goa, these mangoes will also go inside Goa. But we know that mangoes and Goa should not touch each other. So only conclusion 1 follows as the answer. Right? Only conclusion 1 follows. Similarly, if you, let's say, take this one. Some pens are papers. Some pens are papers. Some papers are pencil. All pencils are files. All pencils are files. Some pens are papers. Some papers are pencils, and all pencils are files. That's the basic diagram. Now look at the conclusions. Some files are pencils. It's obvious, when all pencils are files, the definite conclusion is some files are pencils. So you don't even have to look at the diagram for this particular conclusion, right? For all A's are B's, the definite conclusion is some B's are A's. So for all pencils are files, the definite conclusion will be some files are pencils. You don't even have to draw the diagram for this one, right? Second conclusion. Some pens being pencil is a possibility. Some pens being pencil is a possibility, yes. There's no negative statement here, so anything is possible. Remember, it's a simple technique. All are positive statement, right? Some A's are B's, some A's are B's, all A's are B's. In such cases, a positive conclusion is always possible. Some pens being pencils is a possibility, it's possible. Pens can be pencils. Only when no A is B, some A's are not B's kind of statements are given, you have to be careful about such possibilities. Otherwise, you can straight away say that this is possible. So in this case, conclusion 1 and conclusion 2 both follow. Both conclusion 1 and 2 follow. Yeah. And here's the last one. All A's are P. All A's are P. All A's are P. Some P's are C. Some P's are C. All C's are R. Remember, this R is not touching A. In the diagram, it looks like it is touching A, but actually R is not touching A. Let me redraw it. Okay. All A's are P. Some P are C. All C's are R. Now conclusion. Some R are A? No. Remember, R and A are not touching. In the basic diagram itself, it fails. This is a basic diagram, right? In the basic diagram itself, some R or A is incorrect, because R and A do not touch each other. So how can you say some R or A? It's wrong. Some P are R? Yes, some P would definitely be R. Only conclusion 2 follows. How can I say some P are R? See, the point is this. We know that some P are C and all C are R. I have told you one technique in earlier live sessions, right? Whenever we have all C's are R, wherever we have C, we can replace with R. Whenever we have all C's are R, like whenever it says all X are Y, X can be equal to Y. X can be simply replaced with Y. See, Y will not be replaced with X. Y cannot be replaced with X, but X can be replaced with Y. This is a technique that you all must remember. When you say all X are Y, you can simply replace X with Y. Wherever you have X, you can replace with Y. But you cannot replace Y with X. Yeah, that may not be true. So here when it says all C's are R, wherever we have C, just replace with R. So I can replace the C with R. So the statement itself becomes some P are R. Yes, some P are R. So statement itself is saying some P are R. Conclusion some P are R will be true. Some P are R will be true. So only conclusion 2 follows. Conclusion 1 does not follow. Only conclusion 2 follows. Option 2. I think very simple, right? Each question would take about 30 seconds, not more than that. 30 seconds and you'll score 1 mark. So it's actually very easy. Like most of you had pointed out, syllogisms asked was very, very easy in the last all India mock exam. Jay Murli says, is it necessary for the statements to be true in real? In banking exams, it would be stated that statements must be considered true even if they are not true in real context. Yes, it is not necessary that statements have to be true, right? I mean, they say, like, look at this itself, no? There's no meaning here. Some pens are papers. How are some pens papers? It's not, the statements will not be true. I mean, it will not be a commonly known fact. It will be, it will be actually against a commonly known fact. It says some windows are dogs. How can windows be dogs? There can, never be a window which is a dog or a dog which is a window, right? No relationship at all. So is it necessary for the statements to be true in real? No, not at all. Clear? Kshitiz has asked a question again. He says if any one basic diagram not follows, then we don't take that conclusion as true. Yes. If the conclusion fails in the basic diagram, then it is false. See, a conclusion that cannot satisfy a basic diagram is always false. A definite conclusion, to be specific, a definite conclusion which cannot satisfy a basic diagram is false. Take it straight. It should be true in all the basic diagrams for it to be a true conclusion. Right? It should not be true in all the basic diagrams. Basic diagram is only one. It should be true in all the diagrams. There's only one basic diagram. Remember, there's only one basic diagram. All others are possible diagrams. So don't confuse yourself by saying it should be true in all basic diagrams. Basic diagram is only one. All others are possible diagrams. So for a conclusion to be true, it should be satisfying not only the basic diagram but all the possible diagrams as well. But if it is not satisfying the basic diagram itself, there itself you can say it's false. Yeah. Okay, I just read one statement. This is the last comment that I'll respond to, and then we'll close the session. Rajshekhar says, not able to see the number of questions attempted while taking the test. Please enable this option. Rajshekhar, we got this feedback from some other students also a couple of weeks back, and our technical team is working on it. I'm sure in a week or so you'll have a solution where you'll be able to see the number of questions attempted after the test is over. Okay? So I think we'll close it here. Thank you guys for joining us in this session. Keep practicing. If you have any more queries, any questions from these mock exams that you are not able to follow and which I have not taken up, don't worry. You can post it in the discussion forum and we will take it up during our live doubts clarification sessions on Saturdays. Alright. So keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Thanks.